Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the shop. My name's Kevin Chaney, and this is my blacksmith shop, Red Maple Forge. And today, as you can see down in the corner over there, we're making a shield boss. And the shield boss is when you have those round, mostly Viking kind of style, and they have that little metal, like roundness where the handle is in the middle of the shield. That's what we're making today. I'm going to need my safety glasses. So what we're starting off with is we got cut out a 8-inch piece, 200 millimeters. This is actually out of 11 gauge or 3 millimeter thick steel or 1/8 inch. This is probably actually overkill for this. I probably would step it down to probably 14 gauge. Historically, when they looked at armor, a lot of armor was in that 14 gauge. I actually don't have 14 gauge ready to cut, so I already had the 11 gauge in, so I figured, I'll just cut it from the 11 gauge. Yeah. I will be using my swage block, if you notice on my second camera. Over there. That's already set up for the swage block. Sorry, I don't know why it's doing the light frequency thing. I guess the light back there is a little bit off from the hertz, but oh well. Usually it's able to compensate better than that, but anyways. If you're new around here, I stream on both YouTube and Twitch. My chats are up. I'll answer any questions as need be. Pretty well, let's forge some bosses. So, why I decided to do this, well, what was I going to do on Thursday? But also, in 2 weeks' time, so not this weekend, not the following weekend, but the weekend after, I'm doing my first medieval fair, and I never tried these yet at them, so I figured, why not try? Like I said, this size is a little overkill. So we'll do with what we have. It will be a little bit more forging. Now to talk about my swage block a little bit, I'm going to be using my bowl swage. This is a big round thing here, and if you want to know, it's about 5-inch diameter, or 13 centimeters, and it's roughly about 2 inches deep, or about 5 centimeters, or 50 millimeters. So that's the guy we're going to be using today. As you can see, my 3-pound rounding hammer is already set up there. I'm going to try with the rounding hammer first. There's a possibility I have to bring out the persuader. And if you're new to the channel and never met the persuader before, this is the persuader. It's a giant ball-peen hammer. This actually was my grandfather's. He's the one that named it the persuader, and you can kind of tell why. I do make my own persuaders. Don't actually have any in stock right now. Maybe I should make one. This one is actually due for a new handle. There's some good movement in the handle itself. It's beat up and shoot. I should just replace the handle as it is. Maybe that will be a maintenance thing up a little later on. Sorry, I thought I heard a beep. So, I'm not actually going to be using a lot of heat today. I'm only going to be roughly around 5 psi. A lot of this is I don't want to really thin down the scale any. I really just want to kind of form it. So I'm going to be using more of the orange, dull, kind of reddish color. I'm not going to go actually up to you know, your yellows or whites. Because like I said, I want to actually just more form this than actually like spread it out or anything like that. For tongs today, I will be using my flat bit tongs. So I'm just going to start off right in the middle. And I'm just going to start doing little circles around. And as I work this, I'm going to be able to see where my swage block is, because I'll get a ring of darker color. I'll get a ring of darker color where I'm hitting the bulk of the swage block. Probably take a few heats, so you know, settle in, relax, get a coffee. I might actually bring out a glove for the hammer hand. I would prefer a larger handle if I was doing this a little bit more often. Because you can feel the heat from that on the knuckles. So, well, I'll see how far I can put up with it. Also, I'm not gonna like wail on this thing. I'm doing quite. I don't want to say light blows. I don't want to say heavy blows with the hammer. I want to kind of in the middle kind of thing. Like I am trying to move the steel, but I'm not trying to like brute force it into shape. The reason why I'm doing that is because I want to keep it so it doesn't kink at all. Because if it kinks, especially around the edges, it becomes a real pain to straighten that up when we're making the edges for the boss. So right now I'm just trying to square it up again, or get it back to center. I'm just going to work it down. I'm going to go in a circle. Then go back to the middle and start working that down. Starting to get the shape there. This is actually probably a little bit bigger than I probably needed it to be. This forged out and see how it looks. Worst comes to worst, I do have some 6-inch planks just in case. And watch it be more like 7 inches would be a good size. You know how that works. Forge ever so slightly. I normally run a very high oxygen forge or air forge with my fuel. So I'm going to change that up a little bit. So I'm going to bump up the PSI on the fuel around 7 PSI right now, and choking off the air a little bit. The reason why I'm doing that, one is trying to get this heated up in between heats a little bit faster, and also trying to minimize the amount of scale that is added to this while I'm working it. Obviously, the more air you're flowing into it, the higher chance that you could be adding scale. No matter how you adjust it, you are going to get some scale, but I want to minimize that as much as possible. Again, I'm just going to continue working this down, rounding side of my rounding hammer. If you don't have a rounding hammer, you can use ball peen. I'm just going from the center, and I'm just doing kind of swirls around. Every so often, I am going to rotate it ever so slightly. And that's just because normally when I'm working with my swage block, I'll be able to move myself around, but my camera's in the way, so I'm kind of going to have to work around it. With the Boss, they usually, the reason why it's domed is that's where the handle is. They usually had a flat piece, often steel, where they're actually holding the shield, and that roundness was supposed to cover over top of your hand. So you have to make it deep enough so someone can hold, you know, a steel rod as well as be protected. And it was also, you know, the shield was just as much offensive as defensive, as in they would, you know, jam people with it and stuff like that. So the Boss added a little extra bit of, I don't know what it is, striking kind of thing, where it's like, you know, a nice kind of middle sticking out kind of, well, great thing. I don't know. I think so. I am going to put a glove on for my hammer. I don't normally do this, but my handle is a little bit too short for doing this. So, unfortunately, I have a glove on my hammer hand. I normally don't. So, once we got it started, I'm going to actually start wailing a little bit harder on it. Just to really get it sinking down a little bit more. I'm also keeping an eye on the ridge or like rim around the end and adjusting as I need to. So if I notice I'm going too much on one side and that rim is starting to get a little shrunk, I am going to come in and tweak it as need be. My swage block is not really well mounted, so it does have a little bounce into it. as you can probably see on the camera if I actually switch to it. So we're getting there. So I want to go just ever so slightly deeper, maybe another half inch, or about 10 millimeters, kind of deep into that. I still have tons of room to go on my little disher there, so might as well use it up. I'm also going to take some time to clean the scale from the bottom of my sway flock. Probably should get the magnet up for that. Light that up. I don't know why the magnet is on the floor. Light that up. So yeah. What else to say, so hey. Now that I've got pretty well the depth I want, my next heat, I'm just going to start cleaning up everything. Start shaping it a little bit more dome-like. This one side is not as profiled roundness wise as much as this side, so I'll probably do that on my next heat. I'm going to put it in the forge in a way that I can actually remember which side is what when I pull it out. Like I said, if you don't have a rounding hammer, a ball team can work on this. If you don't have a swage block like this, you can make a donut. I don't know if I have it. Oh, this is a little donut. You can make a donut out of round bar, round pipe to get this shape. If you are looking to make it out of pipe, you might look at getting 90-degree angles of pipe and like weld them together maybe. I know some people chunk of hardwood and dish that out. And one of my early on helmets that I made, that's how I actually dished it out. Was I took a piece of wood, nice hardwood slab, and like cut it out as a dish kind of thing. Then use that as a disher. You know, the downside of wood is that it will burn and stuff like that. But if you're doing a one-off for your own, I don't know, want to make a costume or something like that, then hey, one-off using wood is, you know, I won't stop you. Oh, I keep on forgetting to change. So now that I think everything is pretty well shaped how I want it, got a little bit deeper to go on here. Now I'm not trying to deepen the overall bit of this. I'm just trying to clean up everything to make it as nicely domed as I can. Just looking over it. Seeing how I like it. I think that will do. Just kind of eyeballing it. So what I'm going to do is one side of the rim that's kinked a little bit. So I'm going to put some focus on straightening out that. Just so I can get a better visual on it. Right at this point in time, that little kink might be tricking my eyes with what it is doing. For this, I'm going to probably do it on the anvil. I could do this right on my swage block, but I'm pretty sure the swage block is making some loud noises. So we'll do it on the anvil. This is where a nice big flat piece of steel would make this straightening and stuff a lot easier. Because it's one of those things where you can easily overshoot where you want this quite easily. And my anvil is not perfectly straight, or flat I should say. So it does make for a little bit of fun. I'm trying to think if I have a flat piece of steel I can use. I really don't think I do. Now, if this was something I was doing on a regular basis, I would probably make dies for this to go on my press, so I can actually form that whole bowl with the lip one shot on the press. But I don't know how well these are going to do. And I know there's other blacksmiths online that do sell these kind of things. So it's one of those things. Am I going to be able to do enough to justify spending the time on dies? But I'll make a nice bowl how it is right now too. Just doing light taps, pretty well on the same spot of my anvil. The steel has some pretty good heat in it right now, so it is moving quite easily. That would be a good size, because you gotta think 4 inches is basically my hand. So, yeah, that would probably be a good size. I don't want to put my hand that close to it though. So right now, just seeing the overall shape, making sure I like it. I'm just eyeballing it. Probably do need to do a little bit of plenishing in here. There's a little bit of kinks that I don't like. Here I thought I was done with this one spot, so we'll kick you back over there. I'm going to continue using the my rounding hammer. We'll grab my rounding hammer. And I want to see where that spot is again. These are really
really light taps. Just trying to get this as smooth as possible. Right now, I'm actually going to continue working it as it gets cold. This will help me plenish a little bit better and look out some of those more pronounced divots. Definitely easier when it is hot. I'm not looking for a perfect clean here. Just want to get the majority of the flaky stuff off. This will also help me to see the shape a little better. That sit for a couple of minutes, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be punching the holes today. Get down to the punching. So I have this guy right here, which is my hydraulic punch. And it punches nice little circles in for me. I've had this guy for over a year now, and actually pretty good. Originally got him because I do a lot of hooks, and I hate drilling holes. So the punching actually saves a lot of time. This one is not... There is a couple of issues with this one. The switch intermittently will stop working and then start up again. Some of that has to do is my shop is not climate control. Like, I don't have a heater in the wintertime. I don't have an air conditioner in the summertime. So unfortunately, the connections on the switch get a little corroded. I've taken it apart twice now to clean up the switch. But I'm trying to decide, and these have interchangeable dies to do the holes. This one's a 9mm. The one I took out was a 5mm. They go down as small as 4mm. The 4mm I do on my little horseshoe nail hooks, and 5mm is on the rest of my hooks, really. You can actually buy both round, square, as well as slot for this guy. So, do I want a 9mm? I think a 9mm would be good. So yeah, I got this guy, and he works half decent. He has recently developed a leak at the main cylinder. Noticed it probably because I left it on. I didn't release the pressure valve before it got too cold in the wintertime. I think maybe that has something to do with it. It froze or something. Well, not froze, but cooled down, and then as it got warmed up, it expanded. And yeah. I was hoping the boss would be a little bit cooler by now. Anyways, I'm just gonna actually eyeball where I want these holes a little bit. So I'm doing, we're gonna do 4. Whoop. Probably do 4. To be honest, I don't know historically what, how many did, like, what was the norm. I've seen 4, I've seen 6, I've seen 8. So, yeah. So I'm going around now and double checking my edge, just to get a sense of how well I did. And yeah, all the sides are actually really close to being equal at my 4cm mark, or 40mm, or 1.5" roughly. So right now I'm just gonna taking a soapstone and just marking out roughly where I want. And I'm not going too crazy on making sure I get it spot on. Let's see how there we go. That's the one hole. I think that's a good size. And I know someone's going to say that I'm cheating. I'm going to say, hey, the blacksmith back 200, 300, 400 years ago had this, and they would use it to you. Don't kid yourself. Quite frankly, using this hydraulic punch just makes it so much easier. I think I got this like for $3.50 Canadian a year and a half ago. So there you go. There's the holes. The only downside with using this is sometimes you get burrs on the back side of your punching. Don't notice it really that much with the bigger diameters, like 9+. But with the small ones, like the 4mm ones, yeah, you got Wow, that took me a half hour. Okay. Okay, that's I was expecting longer, actually. So with this guy, I might do a little bit more straightening once it fully cools. Maybe a little bit more plenishing when it fully cools. Because I do have some dimples that I wouldn't mind getting out. Close part. I think that's pretty good. So, how about a second one? Let's go for the second one. Let me just cut another 8-inch. Oh, there we go. Another 8-inch circle. So I'm actually glad with that size. It's probably not even close to the store, right? But that's fine. What I'm doing right now is these were plastic cut earlier today. So I'm just taking some of that plastic snot off of it. That guy heats up, we'll get a second one going. That's probably a little bit too big. Do a little cleanup of the scale that caught the bottom of my I actually keep my scale. Little box. I have a couple of potter friends, people that do pottery. They actually mix that stuff into the clay, and when they fire their clay bowls or whatever, it adds a really nice kind of oxidized, rusty look to it, but also grays and blacks. It actually looks really, really cool. And every time I bring this up, I always think, you know, I should get a picture of it. So I should be like, hey, this is what it looks like. I keep on forgetting. So you just gotta take my word for it, or you can just Google it. That can help you. Sorry, the door on the floor just made kind of a weird noise. So I'm starting from the center. I'm just kind of doing little spirals out. As it cools down a little bit, I'm getting a ring so I can actually see where my sway block is sitting. And I can adjust if I need to move over a little bit. went a little too far on one side, so gotta bring that back in. Hopefully. Stuck at the bottom there. Ah. Down, down. Try to center it off a little bit. So on this side here, I went a little bit too far on making that rim. I don't have as much sticking out as I want compared to the other side. So everything got shifted that way. So I'm going to be trying to bring it back a little bit. Seconds to straighten out the rim a little bit. doing okay. So now I got a little bit too low on this side compared to that side, so I'm going to be dropping that side down a little bit. A little bit more heat than that. I got everything to the depth I want, I think. Oh, just a little bit more here. Yep. I think. Oh. I'm going to chase this a little bit, I think. Okay, I think we're, every time I look at it, there's another spot that I need to bring down a little bit. Okay. Let's just take a look. Yeah, so I think the dome is basically where I want. So I'm going to take a small heat on this so I can finish it a little bit. Heat it up a little bit. Actually, while I'm actually forging this, I can actually smell that handle. Just getting a little bit more singed as I do this. I don't think I'm actually like hitting it, but yeah, you can definitely see a little bit more charred on it. I'm just going to go around, lightly plenish it, just to get any of the really big hits out of it, just to smooth it off a little bit. And these are quite light taps. bring it over to my anvil. I'm gonna actually switch over to my half my two peppers. I'm gonna clean out some of these. Some of this rim needs to be straightened out a little bit. So a lot of the threads are actually going past what I think on the bottom side. And then bringing it back on top. Roughly where I am right now. I'm comparing the two. I'll go in for a heat so I can straighten that rim out right at the anvil. Now if I do get too close to like where the rim is needs to be brought back in, or like more distance, bring to the side of the anvil and start forcing it a little bit further back. So like right on this side here, it is a little bit too far out. So I'm going to bring that up to the edge of the anvil. I'm going to just go almost, I'm not going to do like half on, half off blows, but I am going to concentrate my blow just so I'm just inside the corner of my anvil. And that will force it to come in a little bit. Unfortunately, it does add a little bit of marking on the outside. But it does bring in that edge a little bit. We're bringing the edge of the dome in a little bit so you're more even on all the sides. Just like if you need to add a little bit, you can go into your anvil like that, like a ball peen or something like that. So right at this point in time, I'm looking quite happy. Looking quite happy how this is turning out. Soapstone out, mark up where I want everything. And of course, in the old days they would just use a round punch or a square punch, depending on what they favored. And they would actually more eyeball this than anything. Measure down and it was right in front of me. To be honest, I probably could just eyeball the halfway mark on this as well. Be okay. Actually, have to correct in this. It's not actually that bad. Rim-wise, the rim around is actually pretty even. Give or take a mil or two. Just got it marked out. Flop over to the punch again. Sorry, the light is terrible in that corner. So we'll just get this punched out. Now, normally I wouldn't punch when it's hot like this. Fear of ruining my eyes, but thinking on this one would be okay. Sometimes it does catch on the die, and you just have to kind of wiggle it out. It's funny how the second one, I wonder if it's just because I have extra heat in this, if it's actually getting stuck more than the first one. The first one actually wasn't too bad. And yeah, normally this guy would have stripper plates to strip the piece off of it. I don't actually have them on because a lot of my stuff is too small to get caught by that. You gotta think that was made for a little bit more metal fabrication. So say you're putting a whole bunch of holes in because you're doing a railing. So yeah. Anyways, that's number 2. Number 2 done. Number 2 done. That's the 2 of them. This one is a little bit more tighter round than this guy. This guy I got a little because I had to fix it a little bit. I could bring that in if I wanted to, but I think for my first go at these, I think they're pretty nice how they are. Now another thing you'll notice after punching, some of that scale gets cleaned off. Not too worried about that. These guys are going to get wire wheeled. And I'll put a nice coat of beeswax on it. I know some guys, they just scale it up and put linseed oil on it. I like my beeswax. So that one went a little quicker. Nice. So that's the show for today. Made 2 bosses. Yeah, there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, where I will be making something out of, I think, scrap metal. I think I'll do that tomorrow. Yeah. Anyways, if you guys made it this far in the video, thank you, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.